This is example 2 of the logarithmic functions lab. We have the following function: f of x equals negative log of base 2 of x minus 2. For part 1 of this example, we want to find if we can transform the more basic function of log of base 2 of x to our function f of x equals negative log of base 2 x minus 2. So we're going to look at reflections either across the x or y axis. We're going to look at horizontal shifts if it moves left or right, and we're going to look at vertical shifts if it moves up or down. So starting with reflections, if they happen across the y-axis, happen when our x value is negative. As our x value here, from this function to this function, does not become negative here, there is no reflection across the y-axis. Reflections across the x-axis happen when our function itself becomes negative. Because there is a negative here in front of our function here, we know that there is a reflection across the x-axis. So there is a reflection across the x-axis. Moving on to horizontal shifts. Horizontal shifts happen when whatever's enclosed with our x, something's added or subtracted from it. Because nothing is added or subtracted from the x within these parentheses, there is no horizontal shift. Vertical shifts happen when something is added or subtracted from the function itself. So this negative 2 here, this is making the entire function go downwards. So there is a vertical shift of down 2. And we're going to graph this function and see what it looks like. So here is this in red is our more basic function of f of x equals log of base 2 of x. And you can see that it has a asymptote at 0, a vertical asymptote at 0, and that goes on forever in this direction. And if we add our transformed function here in black, we see that we took this function and it reflected itself across the y-axis here, so reflected across the x-axis, and then it shifted down 2. So if I go over here, you can see this. Without the reflection, we can see that it moved down 2. And if we add the negative back, and if we added the negative back up here, we see that it flipped itself across the x-axis. And those are the transformations of our function.